This time, we're spending the weekend in the Uwharrie. Camping, wheeling, all the usual stuff. With one little difference. We're with a group of Jeeps. 3 4Runners. And his ladies ride. Grab a cold one. Welcome to Boondock Haverlock. Couple 4Runners, a bunch of Jeeps, and a taco named Tuesday. Well, it's day one of the female-only ride. I'm not driving. I'm gonna be a passenger princess. She's gonna be driving all weekend. I'm gonna be sitting over there. So she's lucky I trust her. She's taking the truck. And you and I are both going to see. She's going to try not to break it. And we're both going to see, or we're all going to see how this ends up playing out. Any last words?
I'm nervous, and hopefully I don't get a nervous boots.
Don't be nervous. You'll be fine. I promise. Catch you on the trail. It's been a few days. We're back home now, and I wanted to get Jessie's reaction and her feelings on her first off-road experience driving a fairly new Tacoma. So grab a cold one. It's interview time. So first of all, I'm going to call you out on how you had, RBC in the intro.
So that was the morning of day 2. And I was informed that we were going to be doing some really difficult trails, and I was really nervous and anxious, and I hadn't taken my meds yet, so I thought I was smiling the whole time, by the way. I didn't know that my face looked like that until you showed me the footage. So yeah, I think it was just like my brain was somewhere else.
So how's it going so far?
I'm still feel like I'm going to show myself. That has not changed. It's not bad. It's some stuff I'm like, okay, yeah, as long as I can see, I'm fine. It's what's hard is when we're going uphill because I'm so short. Once the top of the hood comes up over my sight line, I can't see what's in front of me, and then I get nervous. For me, day 1, the closest I've ever come to driving off-road was 4-wheeling with my dad when I was a kid. So I didn't really have anything to compare it to or really know what to expect. I mean, we've been on like dirt roads in the truck, and we've gone up and down like a washout a few times in the truck with you driving, but like that's it. Like that is the extent of my experience being off-road in a vehicle. So I didn't really know what to expect, and I was trying not to go into the weekend with a lot of expectations, but I do think that I was a lot more nervous the first day, as far as like understanding, like, so our leader was Nicole and I was second in line, so her job ultimately was to make sure that we got through the trail in the truck with minimal damage.
How does it feel to have scraped every new skid plate, including mine? exhaust pipe.
Feels pretty good.
Awesome.
And my job was to listen to her directions.
Which you did very good at while she was spotting you.
And so I think like my first day was like me just trying to like make sure that I was paying attention to like what she was asking me to do. For me, I had to have the seat was like all the way up, like jacked all the way up and almost all the way forward. And I was still sitting on the edge of the seat, like when we would go uphill trying to see like ahead. So it was just an uncomfortable driving position for me, which made me more nervous. But like overall, I would say like, well, I did hit a boulder like kind of early on, and that freaked me out a little bit because there was no damage to the truck. But it still like kind of put me on edge. But after that, I would say I got more comfortable.
Roll up. You're going to roll up over a stump. Perfect. Come straight. And then come right up into here. First day we went on, let's see, it was Falls Dam, it was Wolf's Den, a little bit of Slab Pile, and Lakeview.
Yes.
And I think those are the ones we went on.
Yeah, and Lakeview was like the easiest.
How did you feel at the end of day one? How was your confidence? How were you feeling about driving the truck?
I did have a boost in my confidence after day one. Thinking like going into day two, it didn't scare me enough to like be like, no, I don't want to drive tomorrow. I think I was more excited after day two, completing day two.
Yes, I would agree with that. Absolutely. So day one was pretty good. Lots of learning how the truck drove, lots of figuring it all out and getting comfortable behind the wheel.
Yes. Because it was my maybe fourth time actually driving the truck too.
So then got back, had some dinner.
Yep. We had a good night, I would say.
Yep. Day two, which is why you were looking a little nervous.
Yeah.
We were told that we were going to be doing one of the D's. If you don't know, on the Uwharrie, the D's are Dickie Bell, which is actually closed, Daniel, and Dutch John. We were going on Dutch John, and with a stock Tacoma, long bed, meaning long wheelbase, that was going to be a challenge, and that's why you were looking as nervous as you were. And you were worried. You were worried.
Yeah, because I believe we were given like two options that day. It was we could either do the backside of Daniel or the Dutch John. So we did the Dutch John though, because that was the one that, our leader Nicole said that it would probably be the most reasonable for me to try, which like There are parts, I'm not gonna lie, I don't understand why it's so difficult, because it didn't feel like it was that difficult of a... But I will say we did get to go up the backside of Daniel at night with another driver. Nicole was our driver. And that was a beautiful trail, even at night. So, one day, I will get to experience that in my own truck.
You did a lot of the bypasses, which is fine. Now, those bypasses, I mean, you three-wheeled through one of them.
Yeah.
Which was, you didn't even know. There's other ones that were pretty rough, but you did extremely well.
$1, and y'all need to come down here.
Doing Dutch John and doing the trails on day 2, obviously you were more confident.
Yeah.
You felt better. How else did it go?
Well, I would have to say also, like, the group that we were riding with, they were really supportive of me being a novice driver. Our leader, her name is Nicole. She's got a 4Runner. She's been doing this for a long time, and she's really comfortable out in the Uwharrie because that's kind of like her home base park. His daughter was there. It was her second time. She's only 16. She was driving, and she did a great job. She took a lot of really challenging obstacles in her dad's Jeep. So that was like pretty impressive. And then the other two ladies that were with us, they both drove 4Runners. But that was Christina and Angela, and they're both out of Georgia. I have to say they were like the best cheerleaders. The two of them would get so amped every time somebody did anything like remotely difficult. Like it was like again, like even when I damaged the truck, they were both like, man, that was so awesome. Like you should have seen it. It was so cool. And then like Angela was behind me. So every time I would go over a big bump, she'd like, I can see your big dent. It looks so good from back here. Like, so it was really nice to be like with a really positive group of women who were encouraging. And like I said, they didn't make me do anything that I didn't feel comfortable doing. But I learned a ton. And, you know, when we did Dutch John, it may have been like, I may have been taking bypasses, but I was also told it's one of the most technical trails at the Uwharrie. So
especially for a stock vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's going to say, if you follow the Uwharrie page, oh, you can go anywhere in a stock vehicle. Well, you can if you don't give a rat's ass about your vehicle.
Yeah, and I was really careful. Like, I should also mention that. Like,
I would say, honestly, from an outsider's perspective, riding with her, she was extra careful.
Yeah.
She was probably more careful than I would have been driving. I'm going to be 100% honest on that.
So I just wanted to make sure that I was taking the best care I could, meanwhile dragging the bottom of the truck across a bunch of boulders.
That's why there's skid plates on them. So.
And getting used to that noise of like things hitting, that was something that took me about a half a day to get used to.
Yeah, every time you'd hit the frame or a skid plate, you would almost freeze, and I just have to remind you, that's a skid plate, you're fine. There's nothing you were hitting that was going to be detrimental to the truck. It was a little bit of frame, it might have been an exhaust pipe, but most of it was the skid plates that are there for that reason. At the end of day 2, how do you feel? How do you feel overall about your experience? And most of all, do you want to do it again?
I mean, I guess I'll use Boo's words. The bug definitely bit me hard.
Yep. Yes, it did.
I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. I knew I enjoyed being a passenger, but the driving part, like I wasn't expecting to enjoy it quite as much. I was also talking to a few of the other women in the group, and we came to the conclusion that we have another commonality, that we have high anxiety, of which some of us are medicated for, and that this actually was calming and relaxing. And I think it kind of comes down to like, your brain has no choice but to focus on that activity.
Yep.
And so everything else just kind of quiets. And I think that was the reason why I enjoyed it the most. Also, for me personally, I have a lot of control issues, and this is a situation where you can't control everything that's going to happen. Like, you can do your best to make good choices through the process of climbing up the side of a mountain, but you can't control slamming down on a boulder and breaking off a step and crushing the back end of your truck.
Okay, so now that you've mentioned that, let's go over the damage that actually has been done to the truck.
Yeah. I dented both rocker panels, which I guess I found out today I dented the driver's side from the front all the way to the back of the truck. I ripped the step off of the back of the truck. We had an aftermarket step that was bolted onto the frame. But when I came down on a boulder, it snapped off. And during that damage, the boulder went up into the rear bumper quarter panel area of the driver's side of the truck and just kind of like took the side and went crunch. So there's that. After it happened, there's a picture of me like somewhere where I'm leaning up against the truck because I was so pissed and frustrated that I like had just did this damage to the truck. And the alignment. Is that it?
That's it.
That's it. So that's the kind of like where we're at now is, you know, I'm now on your team as far as prioritizing some safety stuff for off-road. So
that's safety, armor.
Well, that's what I mean by safety. But like, you know, like making it so that when we do go out and we can do this and not have to worry about damaging more of the truck. Because like I had a lot of fun and these women want me to go and do it with them again. And there's already a plan for another trip next year. It's going to become an annual thing. We've talked about the possibility of me getting my own rig in the future. We don't know what it's going to be. Hopefully it's another Toyota. But yeah, I mean, like the last couple days I've just had like my wheelhouse has been going. Like I have a chat now with like women talking about parts for the truck, and I have, yeah, it's just, it was a really unexpected outcome because besides the fact that I was nervous about doing the driving, I was also nervous about meeting all of these new women and making friends.
I think my favorite comment of the entire weekend, it was two guys in a buggy. And I'm not talking like a Jeep. It was a built tube frame buggy with tons off to the side as we were pulling by, and we were on Dutch John. We were just basically the end of it. And I heard them as we passed go, "That's a stock truck." And I think you had asked me, do they say that because as a stock truck, I'm a woman?
Oh no, I asked if they were looking at me funny because I didn't hear what they said. I just saw them like staring me down as I was driving by. And I said, are these guys looking at me funny because I'm driving a stock truck, I'm a woman, or I forget what else.
And I simply said all three.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Yeah. But
so now that that's over and you've done it all, how do you feel?
I mean, I feel good. I feel I want to do it again.
That's all we need to hear, is that you want to do it again. You got bit.
I mean, I did make you buy the season pass.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, we'll go out there again.
But it's nice because it's only an hour away from home, so it's one of those places
I'm not even
we
talking
can go.
just Uwharrie. I'm talking like four-wheeling in general.
Well, yeah, but
that's kind of, that was more of a, it wasn't a turn-off. It was a, yes, I want to do this again. Yes, I want to do this more.
Yeah.
It's not a, what are you doing? Why do people do this? Like, you understand now.
I mean, I understood before, but now being a driver, I understand more. I understand more why people want to do it as a driver, not just as a passenger.
If you've made it this far, I want to say thank you for watching. Also, for all you keyboard warriors out there that are dying to type out the phrase, "How did you get for letting your wife drive?" Or, "That's why you don't let a woman go off-roading," or any other misguided comment, check your ego at the door, man. You're the reason women don't feel safe out there. The women on this ride outdrove men I know and a lot of other people I saw out there. And as for those that were first timers, they freaking killed it. Let's be clear, if I had gone out there and expected no damage, especially with no sliders or a lift, I would have been an idiot, no matter who was driving. If if you go off-road, expect to bump and scrape things. When it does happen, he can't get mad. Just make it look better.
This might be the first rainstorm we've been through, and we didn't get soaked.
Hey, thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Y'all know the drill. Catch you on the next one.